Thank you, President Blades, members of the board. Yeah, we can clap. Yes. First off, as many of you know, I've been out with some health issues, and I wanted to just take a moment to thank everyone that's reached out to me. Every board member reached out to me, so many teachers and staff, and it was much appreciated. I want to thank Dr. Gates for running the last board meeting, and my wonderful cabinet for keeping things moving, and of course all of our amazing administrators and principals. One of the things while I was home that kind of bummed me out was that we had a State of the District event planned, and we had one, as you know, last year, and so we had to postpone this one. And so that was hard because we accomplished so much as a district, and we had so many people work so hard, and we really wanted to honor our students and our staff for all of our amazing accomplishments. So I remember driving to work. I think it was my first day back to work, and I called Dr. Young, and I said, I have an idea. And usually when I say that to them, they're like, uh-oh, what's going on now? What are we doing? Because I'm more of an idea person, and I've talked about there's the dreamers and the doers, and the most talented people have qualities of both. Dr. Young has qualities of both. I'm more on the dreamer side. I need doers to get some of the ideas done. And so one of my ideas was to create an interactive State of the District presentation that really encompasses everything we have to offer, all in one document, something we can push out to the entire community. And so I actually showed this to some superintendents. I had a meeting last week, and everyone was like, well, half of them said, we want to copy this. The other half said, we want to steal your employee that built this. And so that employee is Laura Lee, so let's give her a hand here. She works. So without further ado, this is our 2024 State of the District presentation. As you can see, the cover itself says it all. For the first time in over 8 years, we're actually making a turnaround in enrollment, and that's good for everybody. It means we're not laying off staff, we're not cutting programs, we're actually getting more revenue into our district, so we can pay our employees more and run the amazing programs we have. Okay. So you've probably already seen the video. This was the welcome back video that we put together. So we'll in sort of a table of contents. Next slide. So this is really cool. Obviously, we have great award-winning schools. We have some of the best in the county, and our district is well known, and that's why enrollment's going up, because people move here for our schools. What Laura Lee put together in her infinite wisdom was an interactive map of all of our schools and their feeder programs. And Jeremy, if you can go ahead and show the community, you can click on any one of these logos, and everything you need to know, the school's website pops up. So it's really cool. You can see where all our schools feed into, and in one place you can access any one of our schools. Next slide. Again, you can also access all of our alternative schools. So we have our virtual academy, we have Parkview, George Key, El Camino, Venture, and so again, you want to go ahead and show them how you can access. There it is. It also makes a really cool sound when you switch the page, as you can tell. So the next slide is just a brief kind of overview of our demographics for the school district. And what this really shows is how diverse we are. We have over half of our district are socioeconomically disadvantaged, and we have a diverse community of English learners, of all different ethnicities. Next slide. I want to take a moment to thank our community partners. I know we have Twee here. We have our PTA Council President here. Where's Twee? Please stand. I'm going to put you on the spot. Yay. We have our fabulous Placentia PD here, making sure everyone's safe over here by the door. We have Anaheim PD here. Sergeant Conklin is here, and we're going to speak about his partnership later. We have city officials here. We have a lot of people that make up such a wonderful district of 5 cities. So I know many people would think from the outside, Placentia-Yorba is 2 big cities, but it's really 5. And so we have schools and community members in Fullerton as well, in Brea as well, and in Anaheim. And we have an amazing school board that really wants what's best for students. So next slide. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Gary Stein, our Assistant Superintendent of Business, to give a high-level overview of our finances and also talk about a little bit about where our money goes and where our priorities are.
Thank you very much. As you can see on the first slide, this is an overview of the district's projected revenue for the current school year. As you can also see, that the majority of our money comes from the local control funding formula, or LCFF, to the tune of over 76%. The rest of the funding comes from other state, federal, and local revenue, but the vast majority comes from that funding formula. These figures were presented as part of our budget in July, which projected a 400-student decline in enrollment. And as of Census Day last week, we were projected to exceed our projections by roughly 420 students. So these numbers don't reflect the added revenue from those students that you'll see in December when we bring our budget back. Yeah, it is good news. Very good news. What I wanted to do right now is to thank my fiscal team. So Fong Tran, if you're out there, if you wouldn't mind standing so we can give her a hand. She manages our budget. Thank you for all your work. Stellar work managing it. Very appreciative of your work. Thank you, Fong. And on the next slide, what you'll see is, so of that money, what we wanted to help show is that the district invests 63.3% of the overall budget into the LCAP. So our local control and accountability plan, which is aimed at increasing the performance for all of our students, and especially those who need additional support. So $247 million in actions are in the LCAP. Part of this, or a big part of this, is the $26 million in funding allocated to the district to specifically increase services for English learners, socioeconomically disadvantaged students, and foster youth students. And so we have that number displayed, and we're very proud of that we focus our money on delivering services to those students. And we have a large team that actually helps with the LCAP and all of the finances associated with that. So Ms. Evelyn Tablas, I just wanted to call you out and say thank you to you and for all your work you do with the LCAP. Thank you.
Okay, and the next pages contain our accountability plans, as mentioned by Mr. Stein, beginning with our district's local control accountability plan, which sets our 3-year vision and LCFF budget for the district, as well as our school plans for student achievement, which set the annual vision and budget for each school, and finally, our school accountability report cards. So all of these accountability plans are available on our district website, and links are also provided in this report.
Jeremy, can you just show the where those links will take us?
Thank you. And closing out our general information section, we have our current school year calendar, which is just a valuable resource for our parents to have at their fingertips as they plan ahead for the year.
Okay, so enrollment. We're going to talk a little bit about how we got here in detail around innovation, around building preschools. There's new development in the city, but I will tell you, in just talking to all of our neighboring districts, nobody is increasing right now. There's very few districts in Orange County that are actually increasing enrollment. We're now up to 75% of districts in California are in decline. And for the first time in over 100 years, California population has gone down year over year. That was starting last year. So we are bucking a trend, which is critically important, because losing enrollment is a downward spiral. You start losing kids, then you have to reduce jobs, you have to reduce programs, and ultimately reduce schools. So we don't want to go there. If you just look at our district, 2019 versus this year, we were operating with about $40 million more dollars a year in 2019 with those 3,000 more students than we have now. So it is critically important, can't stress it enough, and so many of our actions we take is to actually buck this trend. So this is huge news. We hope it continues and it's a pattern. What we hear from so many people is we move here for the schools. And so they're excited about what's going on here, which is great.
Thank you. So the next page displays exactly that, the reason why so many families want to come to our district, and that is because of our award-winning schools and our amazing educators. As you can see, we have a picture of the California School Dashboard, which is intended to provide parents and districts with meaningful information about how districts are performing and really enhancing student learning. Our student achievement is measured on the Smarter Balance assessment as well as our LPAC assessments. And the dashboard also reports other indicators such as chronic absenteeism, suspensions, and college and career readiness. As you can see on the screen, but also at the links provided, our district continues to perform strongly as a district, and we have made significant strides in each of these areas this past year. So we look forward to the release of the new dashboard results in this coming month. Go ahead, Jeremy. I'm proud to share that through our rededication to our professional learning communities, where our staff are using data to drive their instruction and intervention, as well as our targeted efforts in increasing math fluency and conceptual understanding this past year, we were able to increase the overall percentage of all students meeting or exceeding grade level standards in mathematics by nearly 2.5%. Most notably, our socioeconomically disadvantaged students increased their performance by nearly 6.5%. So that deserves a huge round of applause for all of our schools. We will be maintaining these efforts this school year in mathematics, but we'll also be expanding our focus to include English language arts as well, where you can see we had smaller gains, but about 0.5% in English language arts, but still significant gains in our socioeconomically disadvantaged students by nearly 3.5%. At this time, I'm going to acknowledge a few standout schools whose principals are here with us today, beginning with Lisa Carmona, principal of Ruby Drive Elementary. If you could stand. Ruby Drive is our Avid Showcase school, and their school increased their English language arts student achievement results by 7% and math results by nearly 9%. That is unbelievable. Lisa shared that Ruby Drive achieved their remarkable academic gains through rigorous instruction in alignment with Avid, targeted interventions, focusing on both academics and wellness, and a strong commitment to teacher collaboration to promote student success. Congratulations to the Cougars, and thank you, Principal Carmona, and your teachers. We also have with us tonight Kelly Farrell, Principal of Morse Elementary. Kelly attributes their success to her nurturing staff who focused on purposeful lessons, continuous data review, and strategic instructional groupings. By empowering students with goal setting, staff have helped students work diligently toward achieving their goals and increase their language arts scores by about 5% and their math scores by about 7.5%. Impressively, the Morse Wildcats have now surpassed their student achievement levels from before the COVID-19 pandemic. Way to go, Cougars. Wildcats. Now, finally, for elementary, we have Kristen McDonald here with us tonight, principal of Golden Elementary. Principal McDonald shared that the Golden staff continues to provide rigor with support to ensure that every student gets what they need to succeed at her school, yielding over 90% of the Golden students consistently meeting or exceeding grade level standards in language arts and mathematics. But they're not satisfied with that consistent strong performance. They had a gain of nearly 4% in mathematics this past year. There are few schools in the state who can match this level of student achievement and success. Impressively, the Golden Eagles have now surpassed their student achievement levels from before the COVID pandemic as well. In secondary, I would like to acknowledge the work of Tuffrey Middle School, whose current principal, Sarah Barton, and former principal, Dave Okamoto, are here with us tonight. Sarah shared that the Tuffrey staff took a deeper dive into assessment data than ever before and came out with a renewed focus on student achievement. This resulted in an increase in their language arts achievement by almost 8% and math achievement by almost 9%. The school is in the process of renewing their Schools to Watch status, which recognizes middle schools that demonstrate academic excellence, strong leadership, and a commitment to helping all students succeed. Excellent work, Falcons. Lastly, we have Paige Stills, principal of Yorba Linda Middle, here tonight. Paige shared that her staff focused on the school-wide alignment of instructional practices and data-driven support and intervention in order to increase their student achievement in language arts by nearly 7% and math by nearly 6%. In fact, they are now pursuing the designation of being named a PLC model school, as well as also renewing their status as a Schools to Watch. Way to go, Bobcats. While I highlighted about 5 schools this evening, we are incredibly proud of all of our schools and thankful to our hardworking teachers and administrators who work tirelessly to deliver first best instruction to our students and meet their individual needs throughout the school year through differentiation and targeted support. So again, thank you to all of our staff for all your hard work for our students. Now, in the realm of college and career readiness, we're proud to share that the class of 2024 had a 95.4% graduation rate, and a large number of graduated seniors earned the Golden State Seal of Merit Diploma, the State Seal of Biliteracy, and the State Seal of Civic Engagement. We are proud that over 500 more students challenged themselves with rigorous coursework and took the AP exams last year, with an astounding district pass rate of 88.4%. In fact, 3 out of 4 of our high schools were named AP Honor Roll schools for their outstanding work to welcome more students into AP courses. We're proud to continue to offer a variety of college-level courses to our high school students, inclusive of AP, IB, and Cambridge, and are not eliminating or reducing these programs, but in fact expanding them. We also increased our A to G rate by 2.2% this past year and increased our CTE pathway completion rate by 4.2%. That's fine. Let's clap for it. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Will Gray, our Executive Director of College and Career Readiness, as well as Mike Young, our Director of Secondary Education, for their continued efforts in ensuring that our students are graduating from our high schools ready for success for their future endeavors. Last year, we launched our targeted intervention program where over 2,000 students were able to receive targeted support in mathematics either before, during, or after school. And I'm proud to share that we are continuing to offer this program to all of our schools this year, much in part due to our partnership through ELOP and Dr. George Lopez. Thank you. And we will expand to cover language arts as well as mathematics. I would like to acknowledge Assistant Director Dr. Taylor Holloway for her dedication in launching this program last year, as well as Dr. Gray again for carrying it forward this year. This past year, we also invested heavily in early childhood education by opening 2 new fee-based preschools at Wagner and Bryant Ranch. As you can see, By the end of this year, we will have gone from 1 fee-based preschool to 6 fee-based preschools in order to serve our youngest learners in the community. I would like to acknowledge Dr. George Lopez, Executive Director of Early and Expanded Learning, Sylvia Cuesta, our Early Childhood Education Director, as well as Ralph Figueroa, Director of Maintenance and Facilities, and all of their teams for all the hard work that they poured into opening our new preschools. Additionally, we're proud to share that we launched an inclusion model at Wagner Preschool this year, and we will expand further this year into our new preschools. At this time, I'm going to cede the mic to Renee Gray, who's going to share more about our inclusion efforts.
Okay, thank you very much. We are excited to share important updates on our inclusive preschool programs that were actually established after the board approved an inclusion resolution back in May of 2022. And the resolution that was approved at that time reflects the board's commitment to inclusive practices for all of our students in special education, and we're very happy about that. So I'd like to acknowledge first, before I talk about our inclusion, is Jamie Nash, who is our administrator of preschool in special education. And then Sylvia Cuesta, again, who works so closely with her, our, again, Early Childhood Education Director. These two have what I call a symbiotic relationship. I have never seen such a great pairing where we have done such incredible things for our preschool students, and it's really attributed to you and your wonderful team. The expanded early learning and special education departments have been working very closely together to provide inclusive preschool programs for our students. And we have co-taught models at various school sites, and we have our early intervention speech and language services that are available now at multiple locations, allowing children with IEPs to receive their services at the same site as their preschool program rather than traveling. Yes, that's something to... Yes. And additionally, inclusion is present across all grade levels. At every elementary, middle, and high school, our students with IEPs have increased opportunities for instruction in the general education setting. All righty, this is my favorite part, I have to say. So we have two programs that we are so profoundly proud of in our district, and I'd like to first acknowledge the individuals associated with these programs. Rebecca Allen, who would please stand, she is our principal of George Key and Venture Academy.
Yay.
So this has been a labor of love, both of these programs. We have...
Can I say a quick word before we get here? We're the largest employer in this area. And when I got here, I went to our venture program, which is our 18 to 22s, and we're sending these kids to amazing places to work. Trader Joe's, the library, the Placentia Library, all over. But the one place we weren't sending our kids is back here. And so the goal of this, the PLUS program, which Renee will talk about, is actually to employ our kids, because that's good for everybody. It's good for our general ed kids. It's good for our special ed kids. It's good for diversity within our schools. So it's something that we're very proud of, and we have some special guests here today that Renee's going to speak to.
Absolutely. Thank you. So the three students that are part of this program, if you would please stand. First is Anayeli Jimenez. Second is Tommy McTeer. And third is Bryant Wynn. So these students are our first PLUS representatives, and PLUS stands for Placentia Linda Upward Success. And through this program, we provide opportunities, as Dr. Cherna said, for our students to obtain paid employment, and we call it our School to Work program. And they are, again, they get to work in the print shop, nutrition services, maintenance, activities, and special education. So Anna Yelly is working currently as an aide at George Key. And Tommy McTeer is starting as an aide for us as well. And Bryant Wynn is just beginning as an assistant equipment manager at Tuffrey Middle School with the color guard. And I'd just like to acknowledge all of the staff at George Key and Venture that work so hard with our students and believe in them and have true collective teacher efficacy, if you will. You believe in all your students' ability to reach for the stars, and they're proving it here tonight. So thank you. Our advanced program is our diploma-bound program, and this program serves as a bridge to help advance our special education students that are placed in our Venture Academy Adult Transition Program who have nearly met graduation requirements but just need a little bit more to obtain their high school diploma. And so I'm so proud, again, to introduce our students who just graduated with a high school diploma from Advance last year. So our first one is Dennis Conant. Thank you. And he now works with Goodwill on job placement and is learning to use OC Access to get to work each day. Yeah. And Daniel Villaroo is not here today because he's actually in school, which is great. And he's now in our North Orange County Continuing Education Program. He is taking classes in money management, social skills, and intro to tech and computers. So maybe he'll come back to work with us in our tech department, right, Jeremy? Okay, and then he also enjoys going to NOCE and wants to complete different pathways too. He's very driven. And then we have Thomas Cornelius, who has joined us this evening as well. And Thomas is checking out colleges right now, and he has a job coach who is looking into different opportunities for him based on his interests. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now, in the area of athletics, I would like to begin by acknowledging Sarah Barton, our middle school athletics coordinator. Yay. She does it all, folks. So. For her vision and dedication to creating an authentic athletic experience for our middle schoolers with practices, scrimmages, and culminating events, as well as, of course, Dr. Taylor Holloway for her support and supervision of all of our secondary athletic programs. Through the addition of our fifth sport of wrestling this past year, nearly 700 students were able to be exposed to the sport. It is undoubtable that students will never forget the experience that they had in middle school athletics. Volleyball is currently underway. We had our second round of scrimmages just today. And new this year, we'll be adding in flag football. So thank you again to Sarah Barton and your team of wonderful people who are helping you pull off middle school athletics. Now in the area of arts, I would like to acknowledge Phil Mortensen, our Visual and Performing Arts Coordinator, for his long-standing dedication and support of our visual and performing arts programs across the district. Through all the increased funding that we received this year and his hard work in conjunction with Evelyn Tablas and our fiscal department, we were able to expand vocal music to students in all elementary grades, as well as hire visual arts teachers to ensure that all elementary students receive standards-based art instruction. He has also supported our secondary schools in adding personnel and equipment for their visual and performing arts programs. So thank you once again to Phil and your amazing visual and performing arts teachers across the district for providing these wonderful experiences to our students. In the area of activities, I would like to acknowledge Dr. Liz Leone, as well as our elementary principals for working hard to ensure that all students who are exiting elementary school were able to participate in this culminating activity of attending overnight camp, whether through outdoor science school or otherwise. Through the use of our one-time funds, 7 new elementary schools participated this past year, and we were able to provide over $200,000 in scholarships for students to ensure that they were able to have this experience. Thank you again to our principals. And communication is key to an engaged partnership, and this past year we enhanced our communication efforts through our superintendent's Monday messages, as well as expanded community advisory opportunities and an increased social media presence. If you're not following us, be sure to. I would like to acknowledge our Public and Media Relations Specialist, Laura Lee Meza, for all her invaluable work in this important area.
All righty. Actually, due to the rising fentanyl crisis, we have a desire to empower students and families and really provide resources and education in this area. We actually provided 17 awareness assemblies last year, and trained 329 staff district-wide and added 334 units of Narcan to every site. And I really want to acknowledge Michelle DeHaven, our Administrator of Health Services. And Amy Kleiner, one of our nurses. And of course, Placentia PD, and right now representing Placentia PD is Officer Young and Officer Cleveland, who work so closely with Chief Brad Butts from Placentia PD, and together, I know that you had an officer working with you as well, Michelle, to provide those services. So it was a real collaborative effort with Placentia PD to achieve this goal. The number of students exposed to these programs in both middle and high school totaled 13,031. Additionally, we offered 2 English and 1 Spanish district-wide fentanyl awareness program in conjunction with Placentia PD. And so for those of you who are not able to actually go to these or view them, they're still on our YouTube channel, and you can view them in English and Spanish. And also, we have increased safety and security in our district, and we are very proud to have Sergeant Bob Conklin and Officer Shetty Skeet here with us this evening. This past year, sorry about that. This past year, we actually added Officer Shetty Skeet to our already outstanding SRO team in the district, so that each high school now has an SRO on campus. Yeah, I think that deserves a hand. We are so fortunate to have such a positive relationship with our law enforcement agencies to ensure safety on our campus. And our goal is to make sure that we help build positive relationships between our students and law enforcement. So we think that that's happening, and we're very thankful for it. Okay, thank you.
Well, I will start with the top left picture there because it's incredible. Last night we had the opportunity to do a ribbon cutting at El Dorado High School where we installed lights. The school was established in 1966, and we've never had lights on the field. And when I got here, one of the things I did was I met with every principal, and I went through a needs assessment. And one of the needs clearly that I heard from many parents and kids was the need for lights at El Dorado High School so they could practice there. They didn't have to go to other sites for that. And so I'm happy to report that it was not easy, but we did it, and we got it done, and we did it because it's best for kids. So I know that many, many, many students will benefit from this moving forward.
Thank you. Over the summer, I'm sure that if you've been driving around the community, you would have seen our maintenance and facilities teams at all of our sites from one point or another. We've been very, very busy with roofing projects, air conditioning projects, asphalting, everything you can imagine we've been doing, as well as replacing every ceiling tile throughout the district so your kids, when they came back to school this year, came back to nice, clean ceilings, which is fantastic. So as you know, we talked about the lights, which we're excited about. We've also done some major renovations at Valencia, El Dorado, and Esperanza gyms to add air conditioning. So now all of our gyms at the high schools have air conditioning, so our students can do. Yeah, that is good news. We've also completed the Esperanza High School Theater, which there's a picture there. It's a beautiful theater with lots of new technology, so I encourage you to see that. I want to thank Mr. Ralph Figueroa again from our maintenance and facilities team and all of his team, right, for all the great work. really made it so that our students can come back to a beautiful and safe environment to learn in. We're also, as you can see down the lower right, we're moving more and more towards electric buses. Our transportation director, Mr. Richard Jimenez, who's joining us tonight. One of the most innovative and creative people, chases after every single grant you can find to try to replace our fleet, including some free electric buses that we got through a grant with the Air Quality Management District, AQMD. So that's some great news there. Along with that, we need to obviously increase our capacity to charge the buses, specifically fast charging stations, because they take a while. So we are working with that. So he's been working with maintenance of facilities in Edison to bring that facilities into our yard and our transportation yard, so we can charge our growing electric fleet. And before you ask, no, you cannot charge your Tesla in the parking lot. But thank you very much, Richard and the team.
All right. So as I mentioned, one of the things when I got here about a year and a half ago was I met with all the principals and talked about kind of what they thought our district needed. We also had a State of the District report presentation, and one of the things I talked about in this presentation was the need to prepare students for the future, and specifically to prepare students for jobs that don't exist yet and technologies that have yet to be invented. And that's very hard to do. But in talking with Dr. Beth Fisher, it became very clear to me right away that she wanted this for her students. She wanted to take a very, very good school and make it great. And she wanted to prepare her students for the future and not just the current world. So as we talked more and more, it became clear that preparing all kids in the area of computer science was missing in public education. Many schools, including our own, have outstanding computer science programs and pathways, but only a small subsect of the student body is receiving this education. So Dr. Fisher decided to build a school where all kids get the skills for the next half century and are prepared for jobs that have yet to be invented. So with that, we have the Orange County School of Computer Science. We had enrollment increase by over 200 students, and we have a video prepared for you now.
I am Sparky. I am part of the Innovation Lab at the Orange County School of Computer Sciences. It is my pleasure to introduce you to some of our wonderful students and what they are doing at OCSCS.
Sparky, mi nombre es Lily. Estoy en la casa del señor Piano. Tener algo como el laboratorio de innovación en mi escuela es tan genial que realmente me hace quien aprendí más mi cosa favorita en el laboratorio de la impresión 3D.
students are able to use, such as 3D printers, laser cutters, embroidery machines, professional audio recording equipment, and vacuum formers. We can't wait to show you some of the amazing projects students will be working on throughout the year. Make sure to follow us on social media and keep a lookout for the upcoming YouTube channel where events and news happening in the school will be posted. Well, everybody, that's it for now. Thank you for your time, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.
At this time, I'd like everyone associated with the Orange County School of Computer Sciences to please stand. Included in standing are our parent board members. Thank you all for being here, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for our kids. We thought about bringing Sparky here, but it was a little tricky, so... but the kids are programming Sparky, and it's called animatronics, and it's unbelievable. So going back to enrollment, why we innovate? That's a great. This is a reason why we innovate. We also are happy to report that in less than 6 months we opened the Universal Sports Institute, also located at the OCSCS campus, and I'd like Dr. Taylor Holloway and Dominique Palcho to please stand, Parkview and USI. So this was no small task. When we opened, I'd say maybe 95% of the people were hoping this worked out. 25% probably loved the idea and hope it worked out. 25% probably didn't love the idea, but hope it worked out, and the rest from the middle weren't sure, but they hoped it worked out. And I think that that's something we should all remember. Everyone in here, in this room tonight, has one thing in common, and that's that we all want what's best for students. We may go at it different ways, but we all want what's best for students. And the idea of the Universal Sports Institute actually came from a teacher in PYL who's reached out to myself and Leandra and talked about losing kids to a local charter school where kids can compete and do their online work. And so in looking at our programs and looking at our amazing Parkview homeschool, we thought, well, what if we created our own homeschool program where we can have kids compete and train and not only serve our students but attract students from other districts as well. So we invested $1.2 million initially, using not our general fund but using our developer fees, which is about 0.03% of our total budget on building the program. And we have seen just in 6 months from zero to now, we have so many kids engaged in this program, and I'm going to speak to that in a little bit. We're looking at ongoing revenues of almost $2 million of new revenues, where staffing costs are a little over $1 million. So I know there's some misinformation out there about this, and we'll get into the details in a moment, but I want you to know that the board received some feedback from parent surveys on their experiences in this program, and it's just unbelievable. And I've had really good conversations with so many people that some love it, some don't, but they want it to work. And I appreciate those conversations, and I think what I'm going to share with you next can alleviate some of the concerns some people may have. Next slide. So with USI, we decided to utilize all our facilities in the district. And so kids have a central hub for training, and that's at the OCS site. But they use all different sites. So instead of our original intent, which was to put it in one facility, which is currently the PDA, we decided, let's save our money and utilize facilities we already have. The other thing is that we've heard, well, I'm not sure if this is a good investment for just 100 kids. Well, we're budgeting, hopefully, we're projecting 150 kids, but what's happened in just the last several months is we've expanded this to literally hundreds and hundreds of kids. Just yesterday, we opened speed and agility courses for kids throughout the district, and we sold out our classes. We're going to serve over 400 kids throughout the district in before school speed and agility courses. We had 60 kids yesterday from throughout the district show up in the morning before school for speed and agility courses. We're concurrently enrolling over 80 kids from our OCSCS school at USI. We have over 40 special needs kids that we're serving through our partner with BC Adaptive Fitness. And again, hopefully our full-time USI enrollment, we're looking at over upwards of 150 to 200 kids. So we just started. We're already serving hundreds of kids in our district, and it wouldn't happen without Dr. Holloway and the staff that works day and night to providing this innovative program that really is the envy of so many districts. We have districts now trying to emulate it. We have other districts asking, Dr. Holloway's being asked all the time about how we do it and what we're doing. We're offering first class, the highest technology you can imagine, and it's free to kids that otherwise would not be able to afford this program. So I can't speak enough about it. We had just 2 weeks ago the top sports agent in the world, Lee Steinberg, he's a agent for Pat Mahomes, for you name it, shows up at USI. We've had 2 Olympians show up at USI. We've had one of our instructors is an Olympian. So it's been a wonderful new program, and it's really turned into a real jewel for our district. And the fact that we're expanding this now to hundreds of kids throughout the district is really a game changer. So with that, next slide. Oh, yeah. I thought that was okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Jeremy, if we could go back to the video.
So education has changed. It used to be kids come to you, and you as a student, you have to conform to the school you go to. We flipped that model. Now our school conforms to our kids and what they need. And what USI is an academic and athletic institute where we take kids and provide them with skills and technology that otherwise nobody could afford. And we do it for every kid that wants to be part of this program.
I'm excited for our students in Orange County to have the opportunity actually to be able to be a part of an amazing program like this. As I look around, it's great to see so many wonderful parents and supporters of the community that believe that we do need to take a holistic approach when educating our students. We need to take an approach where academics is important, but so for many of these students, also athletics is important.
This institute is important because it's going to provide kids the actual correct, safe, healthiest, and best means of taking care of their body, their mind, just everything. And so as someone that grew up without it, there's so many things that can happen or can go wrong that could be the detriment to someone's career when it didn't need to be. So for these kids, they're really going to be a reflection of how things will go right when it's done right.
We're really excited to be working with Placentia-Yorba School District to see what's happening with their students in sports and academics. And this work here at the Universal Sports Institute perfectly blends those academics and athletic achievement. This is a one-stop shop for kids in sports, but also to make sure that they've got a clear pathway to college and career readiness and success, which is our key goal at the Orange County Department of Education. It's our mission. And so we partner with Placentia-Yorba to make sure that the students here are successful, and we're so excited to support this work.
Something that we're incredibly proud of in our district are all the personalized learning experiences that we provide to all of our students, where they gain an advantage in future-ready career technical education pathways and academies at each high school, and are leaving our schools prepared for high-wage, high-skill jobs through the real-world skills and the industry-specific experience gained here. At El Camino, we offer a printing, imaging, and design pathway. At El Dorado, we offer the Digital Media Arts Academy as well as the ED Law Academy. At Esperanza, we offer the Aztec Engineering and Manufacturing Academy as well as the Medical Sciences Academy. At Valencia, we offer the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, the Cambridge ACE Diploma Program, as well as the Valtech Diploma Program. At Yorba Linda, we offer the Mustang Business Academy with pathways in culinary arts as well as business management. So I would like to take the moment to acknowledge Dr. Will Gray for his support of our CTE programs in partnership with North Orange County ROP. We remain committed to innovation and are currently in the process of bringing additional innovative new experiences and programs to our district, inclusive of STEAM, computer science, and digital media arts at our elementary and middle schools. We are also bringing the IB Primary Years Program and the IB Middle Years Program to feed into our IB Diploma Program, so be on the lookout for that in the coming years. As we look forward, we are continuing to invest in early childhood education and have received a grant for the expansion of our state preschools, with 3 preschools opening later this fall at Glenview, Morse, and Tynes Elementaries. These schools will be the first in the county to utilize a blended preschool model, where state preschool, inclusion preschool, and fee-based preschool programs will run together at each site. I would like to once again acknowledge Dr. George Lopez and Sylvia Cuesta for their innovation and dedication to these programs. This year, we are also piloting an extended day transitional kindergarten program across 10 elementary schools in order to provide additional instruction and enrichment to our 5-year-olds across the district. I would like to thank Dr. Liz Leon and our pilot school principals for their efforts in this pilot. For our academic focus this year, I shared earlier, we are working on improving our students' writing and literacy skills, as reading and writing are crucial to forming an educational foundation that enables students to access and process information effectively, develop the critical thinking skills that they need to be successful, and express their ideas clearly so that they can ultimately learn across all subjects. So to support this joint family school effort, we're providing training to our elementary school teachers on the building blocks of literacy. But additionally, we have launched Storytime with PYLUSD on our district YouTube channel. And I know one of our featured principals is here and is mortified right now. Every other week, we release reading videos of our school and our district leaders, and so we hope that you can check it out at our YouTube channel and social media. I would once again like to acknowledge Dr. Liz Leon for leading our literacy efforts and Lauralee Mesa for their work supporting this initiative. As you can see by the data, our English learners remain our district-wide student group of focus. So to continue to support our English learners, we will follow our English Learner Master Plan, which was board approved last year, and invest significant resources toward professional development in GLAD strategies, otherwise known as Guided Language Acquisition Design, this year. We are also ensuring that all teachers and administrators receive training on the California English Learner Roadmap, as well as providing scaffolds to better support the English language development of our students. I would love to acknowledge Jose Cabrera, Assistant Director of Federal Programs. He and our ELD TOSA, Blanca Gibbons, have been dedicated to providing this training to every single teacher and school across the district. So truly, they are taking this completely on their shoulders to ensure that every single educator in our district knows who their English learners are and how best to support them. So thank you for that, Jose. A joint educational services and student support services initiative this year is increasing our community engagement and pathways to parent partnerships, which are designed to equip families with the tools and knowledge they need to support their children's success at every stage. We offer a variety of tailored workshops intended to not only strengthen the parenting skills, but also foster a deeper connection between home and school, which create a supportive environment for students. So together, we're building stronger family-school partnerships. And as you can see on the screen, as well as through the link on the website, we are offering many different programs and classes to our families at various sites throughout the district. And so I would like to again acknowledge Jose Cabrera, our Assistant Director of Federal Programs, in partnership with Dr. Baldwin Pedraza, Director of Student Services, for their collaboration on this initiative. And now I'll turn it back over to Renee, who will share more on this topic.
And actually, Jose Cabrera and Dr. Baldwin Pedraza could stay standing because I'm going to acknowledge them in this next part. So, yeah. They again are working together, as Dr. Young described. Our departments are collaborating on this effort. And in addition to the parent workshops that were just mentioned here, we plan to survey our families to identify the topics and issues most important to them and the areas in our district that matter most and what our certain communities in our district need as well. So from there, we will plan and deliver these trainings within our own communities. The goal actually is to not have our students come to us, but have us go to them. And to just piggyback off of what Dr. Cherna said in the video about our job not being to have our students conform to us, but we conform to them. That's what we're going to be doing with our parent and community engagement. Surveys will help us with that, and we'll make sure that we keep our hand on the pulse of our community and offer what is necessary and what's needed. And then for our wellness coordination, the wellness coordination, I'd like to recognize Jamie Schill, our Assistant Director of Special Education. And then Tanya Gordillo, our Administrator of Student Services. And then Eunice Castaños, our Coordinator of Student Services. So this past year, the merging of student services and special education into one unified division, student support services, represents, I think, the beauty and the power of collaboration in our district. We brought these two departments together, and we've been working together to foster a holistic approach to student success, ensuring that every learner, despite what their needs are getting their needs met. And so I really want to acknowledge there are two directors in that department. Number one is Gwen Radira, who could not be here this evening, but I do want to acknowledge her. She leads our team, and this special education team works tirelessly, I have to say, each day to ensure that our children in special education receive what they need and they have opportunities given to them. And we work so closely with our principals, who are so inclusive, many of who are here today, tonight with us. And we just feel like our department and our special education department is really second to none. And so I just thank this team for believing in all kids and for their commitment. So in terms of what we plan to do for the well-being of our students in the future is we currently have a variety of wellness providers in our district: school counselors, school psychologists, wellness specialists, mental health clinicians, and all of these people work in conjunction with each other to ensure that our students' social, emotional, and behavioral needs are being met. Each of these groups of individuals is crucial in creating a more effective and holistic approach to student well-being. In the spring of 2025, our plan is actually to host a wellness and resource fair under Dr. Baldwin Pedraza's leadership, and we will be leveraging partnerships with community agencies to provide student and parent workshops and community resources in support of the ever-changing social and emotional and behavioral needs of our community. So we're excited about that. And then our next area I'd like to talk about is our second FRC that we've opened. I'd like to acknowledge the individuals that are here this evening, which is John Matson, our teacher on special assignment. Jason Pike, our counselor working with the FRC. And of course, Karina Luna, who is our program specialist working with our peers. We are so excited to have opened up a second Family Resource Center here in Placentia-Yorba on the Melrose campus. And as you know, the FRC acts as a hub in the community. And we had a hub over by the Topaz area, and now we have a hub over by our Melrose area that's really supporting the Valadez and the Melrose community. We're going to ensure that our students have what they need despite their living situations. And we really have a supportive staff that is working diligently to connect our families to resources such as food assistance, counseling, housing support, amongst many other supports. And we're so proud to see where this will take us in terms of serving the needs of our community. Okay.
All right. This concludes the State of the District presentation. We thank you all for coming. We're going to take a quick 10 to 15 minute break. We have refreshments outside, and we also have music from our EDHS Octet for your enjoyment. We will resume the meeting in probably 10 or 15 minutes, but please enjoy the entertainment and refreshments outside.